Hello everyone. Welcome to my video. So this video, we're just going to go over a little tool that I made for fun. It's called the Strat Scanner. And really what this tool does is it scans stocks in the stock market and gathers a good amount of information about those stocks. And it also gives us tells us actionable signals such as if something is two up or two down, or double inside week, or double inside month, or 2-1 on the month, or things of that nature, right? So if you trade the Strat by Rob Smith, which is who created the Strat strategy, um, then you should like this tool, I would imagine. Now, this is just something I made for fun. I don't currently charge anything to use it. Just figured I'd make a quick video just to go over the tool. Should be super quick, super short. And if you want to make an account, you can for free and use it, see how you like it. Make any suggestions as far as improving it. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and switch over here and we will jump right into it. All right, so you can get to this tool by going to TheStrat.com, and that's going to take you to this page. Now, this page right here, what you can do is you can go ahead and log in. So, of course, if you don't have an account, you need to register. Registering is super easy. It's pretty simple. So if I just type in my email address, like timstrades@gmail.com, a password. Um, Go ahead and do another password. Okay, just copy my email so I don't have to type it again. I go ahead, I got my registration successful. And then boom, I'm logged in, I have an account. So it's as simple as that. Now, really, if you already trade the strat, then you kind of know what you're looking for. Um, and the goal of this is to be able to not search um, specific signals at the moment, like two up or two down, or 2-1-2, or 3-1-2, or 3-2-1, or 1-3-2 rev strat, or anything like that. The goal of this is really to just kind of find stocks that have strong option volume within a specific sector, within a specific market cap, um, and kind of see what the candle patterns are for those stocks on a daily, weekly, and a monthly basis, right? Now I will be adding like hourly, 4 hour, and full time frame continuity, but this is something I'm just doing for fun, so I haven't really spent the time to dive back into those areas of the tool, and implement more code. It is a fairly simple thing to do. I just have to do it. So really, to get back on track here, like I said, one of the big things that I like to use this for is finding options to trade, that have good volume, right, and look strong. I don't want to get into an option contract that doesn't have a lot of volume or open interest, or where the the spreads are pretty wide, right? Um, so really, like, just to start here, you can click scan from filters, and it'll scan every single stock that I am looking at, which is like a lot. So if I click scan here, it's gonna take a second to load. Just give it a minute here. All right, there you go. So here you go. These are like all the stocks. Now, first thing you're going to look at is this is in alphabetical order. So your stocks are going to start from A, and there's 341 pages of stocks, um, of tickers, right? And you'll have a sector column here. Now, the sector applies to, you know, what sector is this ticker in, right? So for American Airlines, or not, this is not American Airlines, double A here is industrials, right? And then you have AAL, American Airlines, which is consumer discretionary. And you can see like over here, you have your daily pattern, your weekly, your monthly, the current price, the volume, and the options volume. Um, and then you can view the chart here. This will take you to trading view. And then here you can see the time that it was last updated. So the price isn't going to update in live time. This kind of scans every, I think it's like every hour or two. Double check. But I have a job that runs where it's set on a schedule to scan, so they all scan at the same time, and then it pulls the price of the stock at the time that it scans. So, but the beauty is that if you see something here like a daily, weekly, or monthly pattern, usually that daily, weekly, or monthly pattern isn't going to change instantly. Sometimes it does, of course, if it's a highly volatile stock, but for the most part, you can click view here and it will take you directly to that stock in trading view. So if I click view, I can see here's American Airlines, and here's the current price of American Airlines, 966. And it's telling me that American Airlines is a 2 down, 2 up on the day, 1-3 on the week, and 2 down on the month. So on the day, I can see here that American Airlines is, let me put my thing on, candle type. So I can see American Airlines on the day, 2 down, 2 up. I have my 2s turned off here, but you can see it triggered a 2 down below the body of this candle, and then it triggered a 2 up pushing above this candle. So that's a 2 down, 2 up there. Now eventually, of course, we're going to add in additional logic to account for the previous candles, such as like, let's say 322 or 312 or 212 or things like that. At the moment, I haven't done that. So that's the beauty of that, is it'll take you right to the stock and you can see the options volume. Now, one thing you might be thinking about is, when we're trading options, money is moved around into different sectors. And 8x Trades calls this sector rotation. Now, they're not, big investors and big banks aren't going to put all of their money in all of the same places. They're going to move their money from place to place depending on where they can make the most money with the money that they're leveraging, right? It doesn't make sense for a large bank to put their money into every single sector and to trade that sector. They're going to move it around into the stronger sectors or the weaker ones depending on what they're doing, right? If they're longing, if they're shorting, right? If they're, whatever their trade style is of who those individuals are that are, using the bank's money to make money, they're going to move that money around into different sectors. So I also added a sector health dashboard here. Now, when you click on this, it will take a second to load. It's got to do a query from your browser to the database. But essentially, what this is going to do is, this isn't like a super in-depth like strategic analysis of the sector. Really, what this is doing is this is analyzing all of the stocks that we have categorized in each sector, and it's determining whether it's 2 up on the day, 2 down on the day, 2 up on the month, 2 down on the month, up on the year, down on the year, things like that, right? Up on the week, down on the week, things of that nature. Is looking at volume, looking at options activity, things of that like that. Now the options activity here, this applies specifically to the sector, not to all of the stocks within the sector or the tickers. We can update and modify this to do that, but at the moment that's not what it's doing. So like I said, this is just going to tell you bullish, bearish, average volume within the sector. You can see here, I don't have any sorting options currently, but if you look here, it looks like one of the strongest bullish sectors at the moment is going to be technology and telecommunications. So telecommunications, I believe, is XLC is the name of that sector, and then technology is XLK. So XLK and XLC. So you can go look at that sector on a chart and kind of see what it looks like, right? So we could go look at XLK and we could say, okay, what does XLK look like on a daily? I've got a lot of stuff going on here. I can change this over to make this look better. Let me change this and get a better view here, because that chart, there's a lot going on in that one. All right, so XLK, right? If we look at this on a daily, we can kind of see that price came down here, like a big gap down and displaced all the way below these lows here, essentially like this supply zone or this, you know, this shelf area, kind of gap down, and then we tried to push back up here and reclaim that area, and then we got back down, and then now you can see we broke back above these previous highs right here, and now we're pushing into these previous highs as well that we were at before we had a huge gap down. And this isn't really a previous to this, that's a previous high, to this, that's a new low, right? So but the idea is, I don't want to get super deep into this, the idea is that price is pushing back up after making new lows, right? It's, we've displaced. If we kind of look at it, we can see here, let me find my tool, I don't know why I keep going up there, but if we see here, right, like we kind of had like a choppy, displaced down, made this low right here, came back down, made another low, tried to push back up, and then we displaced all the way down here, the body there, pushed back up, displaced down, and then right here, or made a new low, not displaced, but we made a new low right there, and then now we're pushing back up above those previous highs, is really what I'm getting at here. So you can see price is pushing back up. So technically that's bullish because we're displacing above previous highs. Whereas right here, we kind of rejected that and came back down. So that could be a way of looking at, hey, this is kind of bullish. It's a bullish area, right? We know that there's a lot of tech stocks that are kind of booming at this moment. They're kind of not booming, but you know, they're picking back up, right? They're getting traction again. And on a 4-hour view, you know, you can kind of go through and look at this. And I don't want to make this an analysis of XLK, but anyways, you can look at that and kind of see like, okay, XLK looks pretty good. It's about to cross that, what is that? That's the EMA cross 50 and 200. We're about to cross that EMA 50, or we will reject it on the daily chart here. And then we have our EMA 200 up here, and then we kind of have like a you know, like this channel here, right, that we could tap back into, where we were kind of retracing and going back up, and we kind of stalled out here and then came below that trend line, right? So we could come back up here and reclaim this trend line potentially, right? So that's something to keep an eye out for, is to see if this price, you know, keeps displacing, right? You might come down here, boom, displace above this. We might push back up here, displace, or not, I keep saying displace, but make a new low, come back down here, and then come up past this area and displace from here back up in. We might slowly work our way up. I don't know. I don't know a lot. But that's my idea of what I think could happen. So then from there, right, you could say, all right, XLK looks pretty good. Technology looks good. Let's go to the scanner and let's look at technology, right? Now, some people might already have a list of XLK stocks in their TradingView watch list, and that's fine too. You can do it that way. You can pretty much do all of this in TradingView by having a watch list of sectors and then all of the stocks within each sector. But you could also do it this way, where you could go in and you could look at the sector, and then you could filter by market cap. You know, maybe you want to trade within a smaller market cap or a larger market cap, right? So I want to say, I want technology stocks in the 2 billion to 30 billion market cap range, and I want option volume to be, 10K to 100K, 100K to 50K, or up to 500K, right? There's just a select few in 500K, but if I select 10K to 100K and I scan this, and then from here, what I can do is I can look at, all right, here's stocks that we have within the technology sector, and these have option volume of 10 to 100K. So now I can look at this and I can say, all right, maybe I want to look at highest to lowest. I can select this options volume and say, all right, it looks like within this market cap that RGTI has 90,000 in options volume, and this is puts and calls combined, and I can see the overall volume of buying and selling is 27.75 million, and that was captured from today, right? So we know that this is a pretty active stock, pretty active ticker within that market cap and within XLK. And then from here, I can say, all right, it's 2 up on the day, 1, 3 on the week, 2 down on the month. So we know that it's pushing back up from a daily standpoint, and it's an inside and then outside week on the weekly, meaning that this could come back and push up higher from a monthly standpoint. So let's take a look at RGTI. RGTI, daily, looks like right now the daily 2 up. At the time I scanned it, it was 2 up, and showing 2 3 right here. So it could have triggered that outside day before the last time this, or after this scanned. But you can kind of see here that it's been in this trend. It's kind of breaking this trend. If you look at that trend line there, we're breaking out of that, right? So that's just something to keep an eye on, essentially. If we look there, it's kind of that, almost like a broadening formation, maybe. If we look at it kind of like from that perspective, you can kind of see that we had a huge run up here, boom, gap down, ranged, displaced lower, came back up, attempted to break these previous levels, came back down, boom, and then now we're trying to see if we can get over these levels. So this is an area where, like, now that we broke this trend line and we're crossing that EMA 50, then this could push back up into new highs, potentially. So that's on the day, and then on the week, it's an outside week, right? 1 3. So outside week means price can go either direction. The price wanted to go down at one point, and then it came back up, got pushed back down. So got pushed up, got pushed down. Which way are we going, right? It was inside previous week. Technically, it looks like it triggered a 3-1, a 3-1-2 on the weekly at one point, and then price couldn't figure out where it wanted to go. But you can kind of see here, okay, 3-1-3, 1-3 on the week. Where's price going to go? You can kind of watch this, right? We could probably tap into 11s, 10 11s up here, and then come back down, or we could even come back down lower here, back into this channel. So anyways, that's the idea of this tool, is to just kind of scan and see if you can find anything that's worthy of trading, rather than clicking and looking through each individual stock, which that's fine too. That works beautifully, works perfectly. But it's just something for fun that I made. And yeah, I mean, you can search for individual stocks as well. Like I can, put in Microsoft here and pull up Microsoft, and I can see Microsoft is 2 up, 2 up, 2 up, 2 down, 2 down, 2 down, right? I can search any stock here. So, and then if you have anything that you can think of that should be added to this, right, you can go right here and submit, if you found a bug or a feature request, blah blah blah, and submit that. So anyways, that's pretty much it, y'all. Check it out, let me know what you think, and I'll see you later.